Welcome to Brian360 and welcome to Marigot, the capital of the French side of Saint Martin. Or, using my high school French, Bienvenue à Brian360 et bienvenue à Marigot, la capitale du côté de Saint-Martin. Whew, my French teachers would be appalled. Both sides of Saint Martin have beautiful artwork placed in seemingly random locations, and Marigot is no exception, with this incredible painting stating, "We love Marigot, French West Indies." Please forgive the quick spin, but we will return to this location in a bit. We are going to take a walk down the main shopping area of Marigot, that is Rue de Général de Gaulle, that is General de Gaulle Street, named for the famous General Charles de Gaulle, who led the Free French forces in World War II, later becoming President of France. We will return back and then end the video with a quick drive down Boulevard de France to see the coastal area of Marigot, including shopping, restaurants, and the harbor area. And here is my patient family waiting for the cameraman once again. I am standing at the corner of Rue de Général de Gaulle and Rue de President Kennedy. I had started this video off walking with my family, but with all of the interesting European clothing stores, I had to keep shutting off my camera and waiting for them. So while they ducked into another shop, I decided to double back and start at the south end and make my video by myself, the lonely cameraman, walking alone once again. For visitors who have already been to the Dutch side, there is a noticeable difference when you are on the French side. The Dutch side seems like a very American, or, dare I say Canadian, island, other than, of course, the temperature and palm trees. Everyone speaks English on the Dutch side, although official government communication is in Dutch. My wife loves that swimsuit store. Anyway, when you are on the French side, you are technically in France, as French Saint Martin is a territory of France. As such, when you enter a store or restaurant, you are generally greeted with a French bonjour, followed by an English hello. The official currency on the French side is the euro, although the US dollar is very widely accepted. It's just a little more fun to spend euros, which are much more colorful and exciting than American dollar bills. No offense. English is very well understood in Marigot, but if you can try to attempt a few words in French, that will get you a smile or two as people appreciate your efforts. Bonjour for hello, merci for thank you, au revoir for goodbye. Où est ma famille? Ils dépenseront tout mon argent pour faire du shopping. Where is my family? They will spend all my money shopping. So little helpful phrases like that will come in handy. Walking along and hearing people speak French adds to the ambiance, enhancing your experience of travel. After all, if everybody sounded like you and everything was the same back home, then why go away? If you have a 14-year-old daughter and you do not want to run out of money, do not go into Pimki. My daughter spent a lot of time and money in that store. I love the name of this store, Undies. Plain and simple, undies. And that's what they sell. Good job. If you are a tourist and you would like some tourist information, this is the place to come, the Saint-Martin Office de Tourisme. If you are visiting Saint Martin for the day as part of a cruise and you want to see Marigot, I would highly recommend coming here first thing in the morning, as partway through the day, around 1 o'clock or so, many of the shops close for up to 2 hours. If you are spending the full day here, then 1 o'clock would be the perfect time to head up to Fort Louis and get an amazing view of Marigot and the harbor, something I'll show you later in this video. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I love how Saint Martin just has randomly placed vibrant artwork to make their island beautiful. If you want to split your time between Marigot and Philipsburg, the capital city of the Dutch side and where your ship will dock, then do Marigot first, and then back to Philipsburg, especially so you won't be rushing from Marigot to get to your ship on time. There's a lot to see on this island, and one day certainly isn't enough, so if you're here on a cruise, come back for a week or two. As I mentioned in my video of Philipsburg, please support the local economy through your shopping, dining, and tourist experiences. This island was hit very heavily by Hurricane Irma in 2017, and then while they were still trying to recover, COVID-19 came along in 2020 and devastated the tourism economy once again. Your tourist euros or dollars are very welcome here and will allow the people of St. Maarten to continue to share their beautiful island with you. If St. Maarten absolutely stole your heart and you have the money to afford it, then come to this business and purchase some real estate and make this your home. Now, you might have noticed that there aren't a lot of places to eat on Rue de Général de Gaulle, although there will be a few restaurants coming up at the end of the street. The adjacent roads have lots of other shops, restaurants, and cafes. While I always feel like the clock is ticking when I'm on vacation, it's still nice to sit in Marigot, enjoying the beautiful weather and an almond croissant or pain de chocolat with my family. My wife absolutely loves the store on the right, #Island Essentials. It is an interesting mix of clothing and home decor. In my Philipsburg video, I talked a little bit about crime and how when coming to St. Maarten for over 20 years and 13 trips, I have always felt very safe. And that is thanks to people like this.
Back at it.
Two of the police officers here, Ricky and Malcolm, were some of the friendliest people I have met on this island, and had a great long chat with them while my family was in a store at the beginning of our day here. If all that shopping in Marigot has made you a little bit hungry, there are a few restaurants coming up on this stretch of the road right now. One of the things I love when on vacation is going grocery shopping. I try to go to the supermarket every day if I can, and that kind of annoys my wife, but it's kind of fun still. I find it interesting seeing the different foods and especially eating those different foods. On the French side, it's no different, and the Caddy Market also has a very good cold drink selection for thirsty tourists like myself. So lots of interesting foods to take a look at and try, and get something cold to drink. We have returned to the corner of Rue de Général de Gaulle and Rue de Président Kennedy. Time to take out the 3-meter selfie stick and get a better view. I have proven that you can walk both sides of this street in a little over 9 minutes. I guess I should find my family right now. That will probably take a little more time. Now, thanks to those clouds coming in, we have decided to cut our day a little bit short in Marigot and come back another time. Now, way off in the distance, you can see a mountain, and that is Fort Louis at the very top. There is a beautiful view of Marigot, and I will show that to you in about 30 seconds. If you are driving in St. Martin and you are not familiar with roundabouts, well, you better learn quickly. There are lots of them on both sides. Generally, all you need to know is the car on the inside of the roundabout has the right of way. So wait your turn, proceed with caution, and you're all good. Better than streetlights. These stalls directly in front of us have some small restaurants, and it's also part of a larger fish market. And it's also the place where there's very good parking, both on this side and the other side closer to the water. As promised, here is the view from Fort Louis looking at the harbor, and then we pan over to take a look at the city. If you are visiting Marigot, I highly recommend a trip to Fort Louis. It's free, it doesn't close, and you get these amazing views of the area around you. I have a much longer video of Fort Louis on my channel, both in the regular and 360 versions, so please check those out to see what Fort Louis has to offer. We are going to finish this video with a quick drive along the Boulevard de France on a different day. We are currently on Rue de Sandy Ground, which leads to Marigot from the southwest. I mentioned roundabouts, and here is another one. Take the exit to the left, and that will get you to the Boulevard de France, and that's where all the parking is, and that's where you'll find lots of restaurants and shops. It also offers a beautiful view of the coast as you are driving along out your left side. On the right side is a cemetery. I would recommend looking out the left side. This video was recorded in August of 2024. We have been to Marigot at other times of the year, in January or February, and the harbor has been absolutely packed with sailboats. I am a landlubber, so I can't offer you any advice on sailing in the Caribbean, unfortunately. And here is another roundabout. I did mention there were many roundabouts. Now straight ahead, on the left or right, is usually where we find parking. It's usually not a problem, but we have parked on the other side once or twice. If there are no spots, proceed to the next roundabout, take a left, and then drive back along the coast and you will find parking spots there. While we wait for the car in front of us to let out a passenger, let's focus on the amazing capabilities of a 360 camera. For this shot, I am not moving my camera at all. I have my arms sticking out of the window holding the camera, and this rotation is done on my computer at home. The 360 camera records in all directions, capturing everything around you. Now, that building with the blue roof used to be a bakery that we would visit every single time we came to Marigot. Unfortunately, after Hurricane Irma in 2017, it shut down and never returned. I'm not sure what it is now, but it is not our beloved bakery. Luckily for us, however, there are no shortage of bakeries in Marigot, and now we visit Chez Fernand, the French bakery, right there on the corner. Now we are back at that amazing artwork where we started this video. To the left is where you will find a market selling lots of souvenirs, including t-shirts, hats, bags, towels, and other trinkets to remind you of your trip to Marigot and St. Martin. One of the bonuses of visiting St. Martin if you're here for an extended time is its proximity to other islands. You can take day trips to Saba, St. Bart's, and Anguilla. Leaving daily from Marigot are ferries to St. Bart's and Anguilla. So check out the website for information about schedules and pricing. Those small buildings on the left is where you will check in. Just remember to bring your sunscreen and passport. As I mentioned earlier, at the top of that mountain is where you will find Fort Louis. Take a right at this intersection, then 1 or 2 streets down, take a left, and you'll find the free parking to Fort Louis. Just follow the signs. Now, if you haven't done enough shopping yet on your trip to Marigot, you can visit Le West Indies Shopping Mall. Not the, it's Le. Le West Indies Shopping Mall. That is coming up on the right, that interesting looking building. It is very expensive, but they do have air conditioning, so there's that. Coming up on the left is the harbor area that we saw from the top of Fort Louis. So if you have a massive yacht or a sailboat, this is where you can park it, moor it, tie it up. I'm not really sure what the sailing people call it, but that's where you can put your boat. And this brings our day in Marigot to an end. There is a lot more to explore here, so if you are visiting St. Maarten, come and take a look. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, sign up for notifications, and check out my other St. Maarten and Saba videos. There are a lot, and I will be adding more. Thank you once again. Take care.